Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Growing Clip Bonsai for Seniors. And as old Blue Eyes would sing, luck be a lady tonight. Today is Thursday, January 20th of 2022. It's 15 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 9 degrees Celsius, 5 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 15 degrees Celsius with the wind blowing. And I know Nigel's in and Jay from Blue Jays got colder weather than we got, but I just wanted to do an update on the cold and the ravages of the night terror. And that's on the olive tree here. My little forest. Let me get it so you can see how it looks. It dries out a lot, so I think this one, I don't know if this tree will make it. A lot of branches dying on it. Same thing here. But hey, what are you gonna do? We tried. But let me cut it and see what's going on. But before I do that, I had to clean my container out and I have to put in some more peroxide so I can sterilize my shears. So I have to buy another bottle of peroxide. Let's put that on the side. So we have to see what's really going on. So I'm going to take my small ones here and cut it back to here and see if there's any green on it. But these leaves are almost like a dried palm leaves. And that one dropped. So let's go back to here and let me scrape it. And I see no green in it. Maybe just a teeny bit, but the branch is almost brittle. So let's just cut them back. And hopefully something will develop. Let me cut it back to here. And there is green life in the branch. So hopefully we can save this. Now here's a note over here, so we're just gonna cut it back to here. I'm gonna cut it at a 45 and throw these old ones out because there's gonna be no cuttings out of that. Now that was our first tree. Here's our second tree. So let me cut it all the way back to here at a 45, and I'm gonna strip these leaves off and see if there is anything growing, if it's green or not. And there's a very slight hint of green underneath the bark. I don't know if you can see it, but what I'll do with this is throw it in some water and see what happens. Maybe we can root it. I cut this one back to here, this one back to here. So hopefully we'll get this thing growing. So I'm going to just strip the leaves off. I know it looks like a stick, and there might be you can take your fingernail too and scrape it back. There might be just a little bit. I don't know. We'll throw it in there, and if it roots, it roots. If it don't, well, what are you going to do? But you can see the night terror knocked the living daylights out of the caboose and everything else that I had stuck in here. At least the weeds are growing. You never know about that. This one here is the healthiest. So let me take the old leaves off of here. Well, that one's coming off hard, so you know there's still some life in here. So hopefully we can get something growing out of these little ones. But I know this one's a toughie. These were out in the whatchamacallit, the microclimate, where it got real super cold. Let's take our guy that was walking, what he knocked over. It's a good thing he didn't break it. But this one looks pretty good. I mean, it looks nice and healthy and fluffy looking. So all we're going to do is cut it back just a little bit. And I'm just going to throw these in water. I'm going to cut it back so we get a nice short little canopy on it. Just like that. Let me get the water so I'm not in your way. And put that in. And then we'll see what happens. And we'll get them a good soak in there. Let me throw that back over here. Now we'll take our brush and just brush a lot of this stuff off, because this was potted on 5/16 of 21. So let's take the rocks out. Let's check everything, and the trees are in there pretty solid. Let me get these rocks out. With the night terror, it's hard to really decorate something, because that guy is something else. So all I'm going to do is take a lot of this off. Yes, then I'm going to get the vacuum and vacuum it out. That's probably one of the time you got to sweep the floor. I know that. But hopefully this will all, these two little trees will make it, because the soil is wet, but it dries out fast. This looks like a piece of moss, but I don't think it's any good. So right now, let me comb this, and if you can, I don't know if you can see it, but there are signs of life, because the trunks still have a bit of green on the bottom of them. So let me dust our railroad tracks off. Get all this out of the way. Well, it sounds like it's raining, but it's not. It's all this grit falling on the floor. Now what I did is I had some feather rock, and I took a piece of track, and what I did is I took my grinder and ground some grooves in there so it'll fit, and hopefully, let's get our caboose on. Let me brush it off a little bit. But it's got a nice weathered look. Let's see if we can get the wheels back on the track. I'm not worried about this thing running or nothing, because all this is like a little house for show. Just like that. It's on there good. Now let me get my other one that I did the track on. Let's see if I can fit it. I might have to pull this back some. Not on the track. Let's get it on there. And put it here so it's not into the tree. And then this one can go right next to something like that. But I can push this back a little bit more. Push the caboose up. Put that in like this. I might have to make a groove for the coupling. Something like that. Now what I'm going to do is, so these don't dry out a lot, I got some bold gray over it, 765 from, I don't know the name, New Nuevo. That's, the ladies will know what this is. But it's a good lipstick to use, because it's almost the color of the branch. So all I'm going to do is just dab the cuts, and they're still a little green, so that's good. I know this one looks like a cross, but I got to see what's going to develop and what's going to grow. And just like that, and just touch it. Now remember, lipstick's a natural wax, and it keeps the water out and the branches from rotting back. I got these on my roses and they're still good from last year, so. Now we could have used the midnight blue, but that would show too much, and at least the gray over it, that's what it's called, blends into the trunks real nice. So what do we do next? Can we put some rock in here or something? I know there's a lot of whatchamacallit, a lot of gravel from the aquariums. Push it up to the track more. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut the rock later and put it in so we can hold it in and maybe glue the rock down so we can keep the night terror out. Just like that. Clean it up. Get these cheap brushes. I think this was like 59 cents or something. But my niece got me a whole bunch of them. Take that out. There we go. Just something like that. Pat it in. Put it up to the track. Our little caboose. Little setting. Now I can take a rock. Now these are in there pretty good, so I'm not worried about weighing them down. But maybe this is a cool looking rock. Something like this. We can put this in the back. And I don't know, I think we should just keep it plain and simple for now. Because all it's doing is sitting in the basement. It's in the east window. So maybe the cold from being next to the window too much, I don't know. That might have did the trick. But our little guy, that's his house. And you know what? Just to give it a little forest view, I think we can put some repti bark on there. I was going to put some more gravel. This is the fine gravel I get. It's from Supernaturals, and it's called Peace River. It's a Peace River gravel, but it's real good. It's good for your fine little trees, for your smaller ones. I'm just gonna take the repti bark and just put it in there. And this will hopefully keep it from drying out as it does in the basement a lot. Just a little cover for him. Later on we can make maybe a path or something. I have to figure something out for it. But just for now, in the basement, that's all we're going to do. Just keep it plain and simple. So we got one good tree really growing, and hopefully there's going to be life in these two. So I don't know if it's the cold hit them or they became too dry in the basement, because it's hard for these guys. You water them and then the sun hits them and they dry out fast. But what are you going to do? That's life. You live and you learn. Nothing else you can do. Now, I got a surprise from Scott from Let's Do Bonsai. Let me get this back. And it was a surprise. It came in the mail today. And it's a little bonsai starter kit. So Scott, this comes with tags and some cool looking pots. Let me open this up so you can see the little pots. And it's got the starter plugs that you can put in there and let it grow. And the seeds, I got them out because Scott says, well, Tom, he says he's got a starter kit too, and he's going to try growing the seeds too. So right now, let me open it up and we'll see what kind of tree seeds we got, because then I'll have to do some research on them and see if we they got to have like a winter dormancy. If they do, man, the winter's here. So there's plenty of cold weather out. Now these are from Heirloom Seeds. This is a flame tree. And then we have a bristlecone pine. And then we got, a Norway spruce. And a blue jacaranda. Looks like almost a wisteria. I don't know. I'll have to do some research on these and see how to start them. And read all the instructions before we do anything. And the other thing that came into the mail today too, now in the book that I showed you in the previous video, I bought, this is from Strictly Medicinal Seeds, and I bought the Thymus capatus. So it's supposed to grow a nice woody stem and almost look like a tree. I got 20 seeds. I do not know how big they are, but they feel super, super small. So I'll have to get everything ready, and then we'll plant them too. So it's just something to try. And it's supposed to, according to what I read, it's supposed to grow up to 12 inches tall, and develop a nice woody trunk and a nice canopy. So we'll give it a shot too. So Scott, let me read all this stuff about these little trees, and then we'll see what's going on, and we'll start the planting. So I'll have to read all the instructions on it so we can do a good job with it. So that's our little update. And don't forget, you want to sterilize your pruners, just stick them in there, and your peroxide after you're done, and that's it. And just put a little cover on it. And then we'll see if we can root any of these olives. I got another olive tree. I should have brought it, but I couldn't dig it out. It was too dark. So today's Thursday night. What are we going to do? I don't know about you, but I like to check out some of the old TV shows from the 50s. And I have to put this down because otherwise I'll forget. It's called Your Hit Parade. And I was fascinated by the old commercials for the women for their permanents by Richard Hudnut. It's called Quick. You do your permanent, and it takes only an hour to do your permanent for the ladies, and 10 minutes for the waves, the curls to set in your hair. But on the Hit Parade, there's like Snooki Larson, Giselle McKenzie, Russell Arms, Dorothy Collins, and some of the good old songs were This Old House, He, and The High and Mighty. I mean, the guy who was whistling that one was pretty good. I can't whistle like that. Wish I could, but I don't know. Something different for you if you want to watch them. Something for you to check out. Something to sit back with and relax with a nice hot cup of tea. I got to catch up some more on my videos. Today's Thursday. Today's a day to sit back and relax and read a book with your tea, or turn on the old Hit Parade. That was good. There's a lot of old songs that they sing, and it's pretty good. So you take care, everybody. Stay warm if you're in the cold climates like us. Nigel, Zin, Jay from Blue Jay. Hot pot of tea to keep you warm and keep the chill out of the bones. That's what I'm going to have because it's cold out there. So let's keep our fingers crossed on our olive tree, and let's see if these little guys take. I hope so. They got a nice sun in the morning, so that's good, and at least this guy's growing pretty good. So the cold and the ravages from the night terror. We got one good, we got two down with one going, but maybe they'll pull through. Fingers crossed. Take care, everybody, and have a great, safe, warm night and cup of tea. Take care, everybody.